moment ever.
Best thing ever, right? Best thing ever. But like I said, our first guest is on. See her there in the green room. Never talked to her before, never had the show. Very excited about this. And let's add our first guest, Jessy Jess, to the show.
Hi.
Hello. How are you, friend?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Thanks for joining us. Looks like you're on the move.
Yeah, I'm passenger though, so I'm good.
That's all that matters.
That is.
Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Florida this week. Just having a little vacation. Yeah.
Okay. Are you where the hurricane hit it all, or?
No, other side.
Oh, good. Good.
And I waited and I made sure I had refundable tickets just in case this place got fucked up. But it's fine, so we're good. Yeah.
I am a Florida guy. I'm right here in Daytona Beach, Florida, this beautiful studio. So
oh, nice.
we
I don't
made
know
it
where
all right.
Daytona is.
Oh, no?
No idea. I'm very geographically unaware.
Honestly, when it comes to Florida, I have no clue. I'm like, if it's not Orlando, I have no idea where you are. So you're from the West Coast, right?
Yeah, I live in the Bay Area. I'm in Northern California.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Australia though, obviously, but I've been in the Bay Area for almost 6 years now.
And how's that been treating you?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You know, I moved out there for a specific coach and for my gym. So all I do is train. I don't really go on adventure or anything like that, but it's the lifestyle is exactly what I need to do my job, you know, so I'm pretty happy. And the weather's always good, so that makes it easier too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I live on the East Coast, so I'm always friggin' cold. Always.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's not a good way to live, dude. It's just like, oh God. But you've gone through a lot of changes over the past year or so, but still staying in that fight life. Glad to see that you're still, it's CSA, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the gym, because I mean, you speak so highly of them online and through all of this like development that you're, or I should even call it evolution of Miss
evolution.
Jessy.
I think I'm past development. I think a decade and a half in. I think we'll
call it the evolution of
I like
Jessy.
That. Yeah, I like that.
How has the team and CSA really helped you through this process?
Honestly, you know, I knew back in 2012 when I was still living in Sydney that I wanted to train under the coach that I have right now. You know, it just took me 6 years to be able to get out there. But he's been so integral in so many aspects of my career and so many aspects of helping me become who I am today as a human being, you know. And when we first started working together, I was still in the UFC and I was still fighting at 125 pounds. And he told me that he was never going to let me fight for him if I didn't move back up to 135, because he saw me killing myself to try to make flyweight. And that instantly made me really appreciate him, because my coach before that kept telling me that I was going to be unsuccessful at 135 and I had to go down, but I was doing 16-hour weight cuts to make flyweight, you know, and it just didn't feel, it took all the love out of my career because all I was doing was focusing on my weight. But yeah, so coach, when I first got there, demanded that I move back up to 135, and that's been pretty indicative of our relationship over the last 6 years. Like, he very much has my best interests at heart, not just as an athlete, but also as a human being. You know, he's the person that I turn to for guidance in absolutely everything. Like, a lot of my friends know if we're like having issues, I go to coach about it. Like, coach is my guiding light in so many factors. But when I first started working with him, he knew that I was kind of getting ready to exit with MMA, and that I'd started in kickboxing before I ever went to mixed martial arts, and that was something I wanted to get back to. And he's world renowned as being one of the best Muay Thai coaches in the US. Like, he ran the US fight team for a long time. He helped develop kind of like the star team back in the day with Muay Thai. He's had some of America's greats like Kevin Ross, Chaz Mulkey, Gaston Bolaños, Gina Carano, Miriam Nakamoto. Like, all the American greats within Muay Thai have come up underneath Coach Kirian. You know, so he's very established in that. So our plan was always to go back to Muay Thai. Once I was done with MMA, it was okay, we're going to go to Muay Thai. And we're doing well so far. I'm like 3-0 so far since leaving MMA, and I just won a world title, which was cool. I have another world title fight in December, and then hopefully next year we're going to go over to boxing as well.
That's all so exciting. I mean, how many people can say that they have a leg kick TKO in Muay Thai? Because that's wild.
I have 2 now.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah. That's been my dream, though. Yeah.
I saw Jess on your IG. The next thing is December 14th, right, in San Jose?
December 14th, yeah, for Scott Coker. So obviously Scott was Strikeforce and then Bellator, and now he started up a new promotion, because he really was like at the forefront of MMA in the Bay Area. He's Bay Area born and bred. And obviously we have like the Diaz brothers, Gilbert Melendez, Josh Thompson. There's so many great like MMA legends that have come out of the Bay, and a lot of them started with Scott. And so now he's started this new event, and Gilbert Melendez is a big part of that, where he's really trying to get back to having back to showcasing MMA within the Bay, because we have so many amazing gyms there, so many amazing fighters coming out of the area, and it's cool to finally have like a local platform to fight on, because I don't think we've had that in a long time.
Yeah, and I was looking at the poster and I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of killers on this one. This is gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, hell yeah. The last one was amazing. Honestly, the last one was so good. Like and because it's in a 5-rope MMA ring. And he's doing
so
MMA,
cool.
kickboxing, and Muay Thai. And then I think he's trying to get on with boxing as well eventually. But so it's cool. Like, it's kind of like the 1FC without the grappling. Like, you get to see all the cool parts of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
And one thing, if I can go next on, Jess, is when following you on IG and all that, everything fighting wise, of course, love, huge fan, but I love everything that you do with the interviews and stuff at the bike, at the shows. How did you get into it? Do you love it? Would you want to do that for, combat sports? Would you want to take your skills to other avenues? We love this side of it. We love interviews and podcasting and shows of that stuff. And like I said, your stuff on IG is phenomenal. So hats off to you on that.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Would you want to go forward in those avenues on those?
Oh, 100%. Like, I've always known, even before I didn't start fighting till I was 21, so, but before that, and since that, I've always known I was going to be in front of the camera. Like, I love being on camera, and I'd been dreaming of working with Harley Davidson for a long time. And then I finally got that job with them, I think last year or the year before, hosting their YouTube channel and filming the product videos for harleydavidson.com. And then they started bringing me to events to do like the TikTok style man on the street interviews. And then I did one recently for another motorbike event in the Bay Area. I love doing that stuff. And I know as I'm getting ready to like wrap up my fight career, I know that that's going to be a big part of this next phase in my life. Like, I know I really want to do hosting, presenting, interviews. I've been leaning into some character acting, like movie roles and things like that, but that doesn't really get me excited the way talking to people does, So absolutely. I actually hit up PFL the other day and I was like, hey, if you guys need a female commentator, like, I gotcha, and they just thumbs up it. I'm like, it's all right. I'm going to get it.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Good job, Jesse. But I've commentated a bunch of MMA events before, and I love doing that. And I've always got a really good response from the way I commentate. I was commentating for a show called XMMA, and they gave me a three fight contract, and then they disappeared after the first one. So I don't know what happened.
Great.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do more on camera stuff. So if you guys know of any jobs going, hit me up.
Absolutely. For sure. I mean, likewise.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I feel like I've seen you have your own bike, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen you build a bike, or maybe just work on your own bike.
Okay.
Okay.
I took it out to Vegas one time to one of my friend's shops and did a bunch of work on my bike there. But yeah, I try to do everything I can myself.
I think that's so cool. It is like,
thanks.
I don't know how to change my own oil in my car.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I have no idea.
I always say, like, in a different life, I own like 5 bikes, and like I live this like completely different lifestyle. Like, I just, maybe after like my big paycheck that I get one of these days.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for, right? I just
exactly
blow all my money on motorbikes. It's so stupid.
I feel like between that, people who love cars, people like, you're just dropping money left and right.
Yeah.
But back to the boxing thing. So, I mean, you're doing so well in Muay Thai. What attracts you to the boxing world?
I think it's like, I love Muay Thai. So Muay Thai is definitely for the love of the sport, but there's no money in it. And so that's been a really hard, that was something that my coach and I discussed when I left the UFC. Because my last fight for them was May last year, and that was the last fight on my deal. And even though I lost that, we already had the plan that if I won and they wanted to renegotiate a new contract, I was still going to say no and I was going to walk away, because I just wasn't I was getting just so injured from MMA all the time, and I just was so unhappy. But part of our plan was, we said, you know, it's going to be a really hard 12 months, you know, but if we just trust the process, commit to the plan, it's going to pay off the way we want it to. And like winning my world title was the start of that, you know, in August. That was the first thing on our list that we ticked off. And then the plan has always been to go into boxing, because there is more money in boxing, especially because one, I can already fight, and two, I know I'm entertaining, and three, I have enough celebrity to kind of be counted as a celebrity, like an influencer fighter. You know what I mean? So I feel like I check off a lot of boxes with that. So I'm just trying to. I've been talking about trying to rematch Paige in boxing, because we fought in the UFC, obviously. And I've been really wanting to rematch her, because I think it would be. I know she wanted to rematch me when I was in the UFC, and I think it would be a fun boxing fight. But really, I just want to fight. Like, UFC had me shelved so often for so long. I felt like I was fighting once a year, once every 18 months. And it's been really nice to just be able to be consistent and have goals. And even though the income's not the same, which is an unfortunate piece of it, I love what I do now, you know, and so I'm hoping boxing will make the money better.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah.
You're onto something there.
Our big budget show, so I always keep these amazing notes by me. So I got your name. Look at you. I got San Jose, California. I got Paige Van Zandt and Beck with a big question mark. Would you want to do anything with them, with bare knuckle, anything with slap, or you said boxing right off the rip, and I think that would probably go more in true with your skills, but any kind of slap or bare knuckle of any sorts?
So they asked me to do slap against Paige. So I got offered slap against her as an opponent for her last one, right?
Wow.
The thing is that the money they offered me was fucking horrendous. And so I was like, and so when they wanted me to do it, I was in camp, because I was supposed to make my boxing debut on a Jake Paul card. And then the week after, he was originally supposed to fight Mike Tyson. So that was the plan. And then when his fight with Mike Tyson fell through back in July, that kind of pushed everything to the side, you know what I mean? But before that had happened, I was in camp getting ready for July 26th for MVP. And so when they came to me with the slap fighting offer, I was like, okay, thinking, oh, this would be like, we have a lot of history, you know, this would be cool. We're two like reasonably attractive women in slap fighting. Like it'd be sick. Surely they're coming at me with some money. And I'd said like, hey, yeah, I'll try to get on a later card for boxing, you know, like this would be worth it. And then they offered me next to nothing, and I said, absolutely not. It's not happening.
That's so surprising to me.
Can I ask, can you throw out a ballpark number or no?
Pretty close to what I'm getting paid to fight Muay Thai right now.
Wild. So with that experience aside, before you knew that they were going to give you pennies, what are your thoughts on Power Slap?
You know, I actually just signed with First Round Management with Malky Kawa, and so I've been talking to Malky. We've been having a lot of conversations about like what I want to do with my career, and he brought up the slap fighting, and I was like, man, I don't know. And I told him that story. I was like, man, they offered me peanuts, you know. And before that, they'd offered me a decent paycheck against Francesca, which is the 155er, and I was like, I don't even walk around at 155. Like Francesca has come and trained at my gym with my coach. And I'm like, we may be the same height. We are not the same size. Like, I do not want to get. So I'll fight her 100%.
Right.
I'm not standing in front of her to let that bitch slap me. Absolutely not. So, but they offered me a decent purse for that. So then when they offered Paige, I was like, fuck yeah, they got to offer me the same that they offered me for Francesca. And nothing.
Right.
So I said that to Malky. I told him that story, and he's like, honestly, slap fighting would still be a good route. Because of the eyes on it. He's like, your visibility is increased significantly with the slap, because there's a lot of people watching. And then once he said that, I was like, okay, I would consider that, you know, for that purpose. If it was for a specific reason, absolutely. But things like bare knuckle and that, you know, I've cornered at bare knuckle boxing in Kansas City recently, and they all hit me up asking me, because they've been messaging me as well, saying like, we want you to fight for us. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to be on TV. Like it needs to be money that I would be fucking idiot to turn down for me to say
Right.
yes, you know? And I've
Right.
said that to him, and I said that to Malky as well. I was like, it's not 100% no. If they came at me with a tidy figure, absolutely I would do it, you know? But even cornering at that event, I'm like, man, like I can't do this for 10 grand. Like that's
Yeah,
that
it's
shit's
freaking
crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
We gotta get you out to one of the Gamebred cards.
I was gonna say,
I'm
the
gonna be
Gamebred-
there. I'm gonna be there in Biloxi. Yeah.
Us
Beautiful.
too.
I'm gonna be there for that.
You'll have to
Which
come
I'm so
find Dave and I.
nervous. Huh?
You'll have to come find Dave and I. But why are you going out for a teammate or?
So I was coming out because I've been talking to Dean Toole about fighting boxing for them when they do another Gamebred card.
Yeah.
So that, and I'm coming out to see. I'm gonna go watch Chase fight as well. So I'm coming out to
Hell
watch
yeah.
Chase fight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Well, I can't wait to meet you there. That's going to be fantastic.
Hell yeah.
But it is quite a vibe. It is like
It's a scene.
I'm
crazy.
Dude, I'm nervous. Like, I struggle with bare knuckle boxing. I was like, you guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah,
bare knuckle
it's
MMA?
wild. It's wild.
Yeah, they're
The
just
MMA
the
though,
next
to me,
level.
it's so much better because you can show your whole skills. You can show grapple and, of course, leg kicks and knees. So there's to me, a lot more to it. It's a lot closer to whatever, right? The UFC than people think. It's I don't know. It is. Maddie's 100% right. It is an absolute scene.
Yeah.
We're so lucky to work for Gamebred and do stuff. The pre-show, I do the press conference stuff. It's awesome. So pretty.
Well,
pumped.
if you guys need me for anything, I'll already be there. But I'm
Yes,
excited.
honey.
I'm excited to be there. Yeah.
Yes, let's get it done. Sounds good.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's your part, Jess. We'll let you run. We appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I'll text you off air about this Gamebred stuff. We'll get something rolling. All right.
Do. All right. Cool. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you
Absolutely,
so much.
Jess. Have a good
Talk to you
day.
soon.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.
Jessy Jess, dude, she was awesome.